say ombeshe active TV sanse ye nyankomade na mom emfa won sanka remote nse obesisa station if you want ye try ho abasia
Memo akwaba eba Kratos eba clinic mini Dr. Penia meda clinic yano medin NT Dr. Samuel Santientwi me alliances doctor clinic yinso alliances clinic abama yitumi say yitumi eye aduma yare bebrebe eho aduma ene ye ewa ha babia wo bia fa hye wotiri mu say yehwe apenfo gi apenfo awo asomdwuma yenye obo operation dompe abu eno nso ye ho aduma pa yen ene afi 2021 aban eboy abaso na yenya abaso bode ye say ye obi a yebo modern ewo stroke ayarehwe mu pa eno echi no yare a ebiti say sexual weakness prostate disorders and prostate problems and as infertility your pulse your yare ahodo bebre a ebrinti yentumi nka nkyerɛ obetumi age number eno afre doctor ewo 0247 77 1981 and 0261 425985 hwe clinic yachiri kwan ewo Pokuase Afiaman ye ben Presby transformer ye yadwuma free adwoda ekosi memenda anopa no nwotwe kosi anumere nonum ne efa na enso se memenda de a kai na hye nso se ye pon anumere nonan enefa. Kratos wish you good health. Kratos, the power to heal.
All right, Ms. Anso, Emma Wakwaba Bim, and Fambra, the editorial version, Active Bite on Active Morning or Active Television. So, Mami Abena Fabia Medan as a say day entertainment, a trend and no to me every Sabri and Yeba Abichi, near Bim, near who said ye or mine ABC Afan and Tomapa and so Eddie Frani Namono. Now make I say WhatsApp and I will text messages I hold on or the buy Beji Brenia can kind Eddie amount or number now, and that will screen no S or no a 0503 236 735 0503 236 735 and or the WhatsApp and a test bar ya bejebre ansani e bepono na ya kenkan enso so e de amount so na o hwe e wo Facebook nso so abetuma let you be no so let you be na bibia nso etumi akoso Facebook no at Active TV GH or the at sign no e beba o the sign e be wi na the Active TV GH no etumi atwa so na te se obehu se ani anase I red and white be etumi eda honum na obia like page no first o like page na make sure say enkomo bia o pese one etwetwen de o work contribution o suggestion problem bibia work bia no fato eye comment section ho na uwia share na obi nso so enya bi enhwe sanso na same thing applies to YouTube and also so ye Active TV GH Active TV GH ni na no ebum ho nso kwa be hu ani anase I red and white no enso so eda ho no ma o kwa dikan subscribe to page no o subscribe bi abon say adoma bi edanchen mi adoma ne so na fa to all videos say the be abre ni abre bia no ya hitting screen na program ne ba na won sanso so etumi aka bi ni watumi ahwe uwia YouTube ne so make sure say o do message ebetumi ato YouTube o na ne so yakenkan enso edi ama na afi nso awie nso share YouTube ne so kan ho na bibia intumi enkoso we are being supported by www.myactiveonline.com www.myactiveonline.com and I news portal news bia ope bia from every sector, every department of life biano okohonma, and I say every department of governance biano oko www.myactiveonline.com on sabi to me aka also to me akin kan bia honso so no obetumi subscribe to a online page no said the bear a post story bia to myactiveonline.com want to so one sa ebetumi aka bi no to me akan and so first na bibia etumi akoso Twitter and so at Active TV GH Twitter and Facebook ni na na Instagram and so Active TV official and so kwa bibia yin develop the family of positivity and okreka no yen hwe ema no engu say the bia said the mekano the truth will always defeat lies and okre we ye denya ebe kan kontompo e de ahye and as no kre e na edi ade ntida ne dey na no yenke kan no kre emfa enkire ye ho medin e de Ano Clement the youth advocate na de bia se de mekano no nyame ntua obi aka se de na dwuma esi etie ope o man ni ya nyame ntua oka ompe oman ni ya nyame entua oka wadwuma a wo ye eboa oman na nyame entua oka wadwuma a wo ye emoa oman na nyame entua oka nyame entua obi biara ka se de na dwuma esi etie na ewiase Ghana eni baby a entumi mfa ne ntoma pa nso so emfa infra Michelle ene ye share indicators of strong government tinu indicators of strong government eniema e kire se aban no eho oden ye ka aban ho oden a me pese me kire se eniema e kire se aban no susue ni bibia wo ye bia eniema e da na di che yes aban we ya aban papa ye ka strong government a me ka aban papa ene strong as in aban bone because ye wo aban bone wo ho a ni humu no obehu ni say oye strong but strong government to me it's say aban papa and indicators of strong government enema it's say aban we eye aban papa aban a ogina yi that is what I'm talking about this morning na ya kan aban amamuo akan aban asem akan aban asem akan aban asem ade we enye NPP aban enye NDC aban enye PPP aban enye US Congress aban enye Democrats aban ye ka aban a ewiase nyina every part of the world aban a practicing democracy representative democracy ye toaba ediji emu empanimfo no that is what I'm talking about. That is why the submissions me kind English na makani twi so that the oye or tibrofo no obefa ne part the on tibrofo no teaching so be na part we are teaching the masses, we are not attacking anybody. That is what I stand for. I stand for the truth because the truth will always defeat lies. And then me see you share indicators of good indicators of strong governance, indicators of strong government. Yenhwe yeni kan hwe quotes bi a empanimfo bi omuwo nimdie eka efa government ehu ansa ne aba be hwe ya link to the indicators na ye wi a yankasa ya make assessment na ya say the basic akọ enti say ewom or say the government solution to a problem is usually as bad as the problem. TNU. I love this statement. Or say the government solution to a problem is usually as bad as the problem. Milton Friedman, American economist. American economist. Onyo biakwa yeka economia yeka krobia economia yeka American economy which is one of the largest economies in the world. Papa we Milton Friedman onimupai American economist nensema awoka nyina ne say problems ahodo nyina efa amamuo ho anase fa krobia ho solutions ahodo a aban pedia solve sa problem no Abiding way of addressing problems soprano assign a problem on its own. Inti it say you can say it is a jato baby. Now see me ko dum jano. Na dum na ko dum jano. Udu ho petrol ni si wona fast petrol ni say yensuo na akɔhwe gu jani. Enti ekonya abaya hodo fa so solve problems e mo manfo abaya ekonya abaya hodo fa so a omu dealing with enyama ekoso omu krom kra no e problem kese e problem na mu. It's a serious statement. Say asemesi say problem aba na aban hwe na on ka asem no mani nwe peye na so mbie mra no ekoya aban ne fafo a obe solve problem ne kra no e problem kase change problem na esi no. So it means that enkedu ba bi kra at times eni kwa say aban kra no eba problems bim and I say do ba bi kra ni kwa say aban kasa because ensema aban ne beba be kan no kra no e worse than problem na mu. Enti a soldier ejane de ye pese edum jana ye pese edum jana aban na ba be dum jana no the petrol na be gu janim enti aban na mu no aban ahodo e wo wiase no eye problem kura che problem na mu e kwa o mo fa so solutions a o mo pe e dey solve problems e wo no kura no eye problem che problem na e wo ho no. So you could clearly see say according to Milton Friedman no aban wo problem kura che problem e wo ho. It means that aban needs solution to problems because Aban Biano has to do with politics, and politics is a dirty game. Politics is a game that, according to Bob Marley, politicians play with the minds of the people. Omo imagine a diagro, omo di timemufu adwin a diagro, according to Bob Marley. So we link it to what Milton Friedman is saying now. It clearly means that politicians, politics, governments are a problem on their own. I'm gonna have problem make a siepa. Now, having said this, producer, you call the next one. I have fato to soma misa. Having said this, okay, so I believe that government is the servant of the people and not their master. I believe that government is the servant of the people and not their master. David Rockefeller was an American banker. David Rockefeller is an American banker. You can't banking system. What you say? You can't finances. What you say? You can't economy. So what you say? So what David Rockefeller is saying, I believe that government is a servant of the people and not the master. You the kind of had during a discussion, I make at you say, Abino, a woman that was sacrificing, a binding woman that was summoning call for, a binding woman that yakwa, and yet, and call for no, and I said, and yet citizens, and there was a yet and qua, and yet citizens, and there was a summer bind, and yet citizens, and there was a sacrifice, summer bind. That is what Rockefeller is saying, and it is true. We are leader, you are the servant. You leader no na because it is you, one of your qualities to prove to them, say yes indeed you can sacrifice for them any day, anytime. But we have some governments in the world that if you are a government now call for and we are buying full, we are buying now call for we are buying full, we are buying now call for sacrifice we are buying full. If you are a government and your people are rather sacrificing for you, you are a bad government. If you are a government and your people are worshiping you, you are a bad government. If you are a government and your people are serving you, you are a bad government. You are irresponsible government. And we are buying. When I was someone call for, and now we call for the summon. We are buying. When I was what do we am to home call for, and don't call for the day or we am to home because we dear Nimuno. It is assumed that be a baby when the hit your face. we are banya. You have this boldness to lead your people. It will be a baby when I will do to protect your people. Bibi a baby, you are rather sacrificing your head to make sure say your people are safe. It we are buying now call for you are a bad government. We are buying now no policies, you know, and we call for cassette here. You are a bad government. Every good government sacrifices for its people, not the other way around. Aban bi ayakwa, enye timamufo na yenkwa. Get it straight. Now, next one. I say the root cause of poverty is social injustice and the bad government that abets it. TNA. The root cause of poverty is social injustice and the bad government that abets it. Colin Powell is first African American Secretary of State in 2000s and Obai. The root cause of poverty is what? The root cause of poverty is social injustice and the bad government that abets it. Colin Powell. Entitieni. Adia ama timamufo ama kofo ho ti omo amaya hudu ewo wiase. Adia ama kofo kwa hunyanyam ama kofo ya hiafo ama kofo su ebre. Eye pepepe ya enkoso ewo wiase. Pepepe ya enkoso ewo countries in the world. Pepepe ya enkoso ewo ya fiefie eni in societies. And it now has to do with bad government. Because say justice ebekoso ama injustice everywhere, then the rule of law must work in every part of the world. If justice will overtake injustice, then rule of law must take its course. And that has to do with the government. The government should make sure there is justice in every society. There is justice in every corner of the country. There is justice in every corner of any country. It is abundant to me and say, I'm a pay and to me and Kosua. That is where Sika was a kwaku ajuane kwabna hono ebe kwa kwasin kwa ho because of injustice. It in kofobi wo be chi people will cry. People will find it difficult to get food to eat. But now will be a diablo so any aduane bi dia chef jim amebia say because of injustice in the society. And that is what governments in the world are subscribing to. It is a pepe ya nkoso ewo wiase a pepe ya nkoso ewo kro bia wo firi mu a I am telling you and I will tell you any day say aban hunu and the injustice it take place. Because in any country where there is rule of law, it is the responsibility of the government to make sure there is justice. It is the responsibility of the government to make sure where there is injustice, justice prevails. Who doesn't care about the society? There will always be injustice in the society. And people will continue to be poor. So any country in the world still and conform any country in the world that still conform it is because the government is bad. And not only bad, because of wickedness. Because there are some countries in the world, those in government are enjoying the best of luxurious lives. Those in government are enjoying the best of delicacies, but the citizens are suffering. It makes you a bad government. It makes you an irresponsible government. Abambia, Krobia, a woman for a main, a woman for a live good life, a woman for a live better life, a hotel. Now a woman for a breno. Sakro, a mu abino ya bambone, a yaban for. A irresponsible government. Now, I mention indicators of strong government. Aban papa, abanya wo gina ne naso, abanya obetumi areji ni so de saka say yes, mini. Abanya oba, abanya wuti ni din a na wa men. Abanya ne nkofo ti din na omo ho ato. That is what we call strong government. How do you become strong? Indicators of strong government, and I say good government. Participation is one. Participation is one of the major indicators a strong or good government. You can participation. What do we mean? Participation just say enkabum. We can me kahun, we kahun, obia kahun bi na ya kabum. That is what we mean by participation. And this is it. Political participation includes a broad range of activities through which people develop and express their opinions on the world and how it is governed. Indicators of strong government. Participation, political participation includes a broad range of activities through which people develop and express their opinions on the world and how it is governed, and also try to take part and shape the decisions that affect their lives. Enti yaka participation a ema aban bia ye strong, ema aban edimu a eno ne tie say any country a obekwa where there is participation no emutimamufuo no they are part of decision making, and among bia aban ni betu bia no because of say eye nipa na to abadi aban mu mpanimfuo nti almost regarding nipa na to abano, they have some special powers. Until they involve the people, they make sure the people participate in every aspect of governance, so that anyone affecting Kofono, anyone affecting the citizenry, when they're comfortable with it and how they want things to be done, or move to me the omagin and so that at the end of the day, taking the final decision, the public will also be considered. That is what we call participation on the part of the government. Enti ebane sa abane your objective, abane your opinionated, abane being in tabemu where everybody is welcome. But government becomes so wicked, becomes so bad, becomes so poor, becomes a failure, becomes a flop where there's no participation. Where abratimemufo ho etire homo now, among voicing out their grievances, Abino pretend to be dead. Abino infamo. Abino say wu. Abino say the BCBA NC. Regardless of whatever happens, the government doesn't care. So, government be fairly with the participation as far as in the responsibilities as a government a concern, a flop government. It's an unveiled government. It's an unavailed government. So as a government, what you have to do is to involve your people in decision making. Listen to what is affecting your people. Find a way how you come together and address those enyamana affected unko for no. How do you do that? Listen to your people. We are banya tie unko for asemo a omo eka. And see how best you do it. And yes, sir. More mayati as say, the Bob Marley Eka say politics or government or politicians only play with people's minds. Politicians or government makes people ignorant. And the Milton Friedman and so Eka say the solution to a problem by the government, is a problem itself. It is true. Abanya only problem solving skills. About papa, about full first class. Now, the next point has to do with transparency. Transparency. You can't say idea be a transparent. Just idea no Good. Transparency is an important principle of good governance, since a degree of clarity and openness about how decisions are taken can help to build the capacity of the poor and or marginalized to play a role in policy formation and also influence these decisions that affect their lives and to encourage. So you got transparency, and I'm the kaka say adien emu be a transparent a ohwa adien mu say ya uhumu nyina. So you can say transparency on the part of the government. It means that government can only be strong, government can only be responsible, government can only be accepted, government can only be held whereby the government is transparent, in the sense that abaina dia oye nyina no emu da ho pefe, abaina dia oye nyina timamufo ehum, timamufo etiase. That is also what democracy is all about. It is aban bi wo wiase ana aban bi wo na ne niam a wo ye no emu timamufo ehum, aban na no mo tu a wo tu ne niam a wo ye eye nhyeso emu timamufo entiase a. That government is a weak government, and it is a wicked government in Nigeria, man will say. And to be a strong government, you know, in as much as yabubo participation in transparency, so should be any strong government hallmark. If you want to be a strong government, then you need to practice what we call transparency. That is what will make you a good government. And yes, now decisions and all that it doesn't help your citizens. I am telling you, you are a failure. Especially if you are a government that promises, now failure promises, you are a fake government. You are an irresponsible government. If you are a government and you don't go by your promises, if you are a government and what you promise your people you don't provide to them, you are a failure. So you should make sure say whatever you tell your people, whatever you do for your people, there is transparency. Emuda ho fine. That is where they get open minds. Abaina muno na dia oye no say you open minded no account and why you remember then because on the free so power on the free so buying there, then I'm telling you there wouldn't be anything like transparency, and it makes you a weak and a failure government. Inti abain one of the attributes and as indicators of strong government is transparency. So ube open up so that your people will understand whatever policy you bring, your people will understand whatever steps you are taking, so that your people will feel at ease, your people will be pleased with whatever that you do. But we are buying now you are a failure, you are not a strong government, you are a weak government. And then also, let's go to another point. Political accountability. To be a strong government, you need to make sure, say, politically you are accountable. So, political accountability is when politicians make choices on behalf of the people, and the people live, and the people have the ability to reward or sanction the politician. And now, in representative democracy, citizens delegate power to elected officials through periodic election in order to represent or act in their interest. Into political accountability. In a representative democracy, like I always say, and conforna eto aba edi yimpanimfo no san conforna na wo ho kwan se omo sanction mpanimfo. That is what representative democracy is all about. You can't representative democracy. They are practicing representative democracy because for the people to represent them in government. and not just only represent them. For the people to go there, now our problems are more wherever corner, wherever area, wherever constituency, wherever region, whatever state they are. No, our representative no matter about the no. All for musu, how money no more corner and them, so that they will be taken care of. But if you have a system of government where political accountability is their problem, I am telling you, they don't fight for the interest of the people who voted for them into power. Eti ababi oriasibia anase obi ayato abayu said the domain obi ayato abayu said the kuranim obi ayato abayu said the nipekuo bi anim. So when you are no and in the interest of the people, then politically you are not being accountable. It makes you a weak politician. It makes the government weak. But so we are buying, and you want your people to refer to you as strong or good government. We are buying now. Person will call for hailing, will call for adhere to whatever decision you take. One person will call for who say yes. This is what you do. Tambia, you put the interest of the people first. Tambia, nyama ehia will call for now moto abama ono, and na your first priority, and then your number one goal. It is all your buy now or more to Abama or more to Abayi mono say Mumpa or more interest and your first Mum put your interest at first. Then you are not a strong government. You are an irresponsible, you are a useless government. We are by four. Aban be a one we are Sibia on tie Nenko for now put to the interest of Nenko for first. No, by phone. Any government in the world that doesn't put the interest of its people first, it's a useless government. It's a weak government. And you bind here, you put the interest of your people first. When you put the interest of your people first, it means that you are putting yourself in the shoes of your people. And it just shit on call for now. When you are the government or when you are elected, you feel say yes, unso jani should be. So on call for this one, unso should be. And you always find a way to make sure say jani show on call for whatever problems, challenges are on call for FM. You find solutions to them. So put your the interest of your people first. If you are a politician, now you are too about the you are. Regardless of wherever you find yourself in this world, if you are a politician who your people voted for you or who your people have voted for you, then you need to put the interest of your people first. We are Mayoni and now we are buying. Now you are too about any dear you are. And what's on call for here at the end, and then I will do first, and then I will end first. And yes, sir, you are a useless government. We are buying phone, you are buying who. Anything that you are buying phone, baby, we are here. Or money now more say, or we are buying penny for, or we are politicians say we are here. Or moon call for this soon or musuno, and far more, or moon, you know, moon call for. That is why there are so many countries in the world that because of useless leaders or muwontino, or more natural resources, you know, I go waste so many countries in the world. Or more natural resources because of useless leaders and penifo who na edi e ground will be we asisuntino omo niema akuro nu wo animonyama akuro nu wo nyina emu penifo adwopadase adwopi wedet emu penifo aton kuro animonyam. Now the next point, the rule of law. Any strong government, any government that is strong, practicing rule of law. And in every representative democratic state, rule of law a year to. Now, the mechanism, process, institution, practice or norm that supports the equality of all citizens before the law secures a monabitrally form. Tie ewiasia panena medical can say any part of the world a practicing representative democracy no na kire say timamfo ne to aba na omudi yikuro ne mpanimfo no emra ewo ho. Any part of the world that practices representative democracy, no, they have a constitution. They go by rule of law. Ababi awon yasibia emutimemfo na to aba edimu eyimu mpanimfo no. Omo wo emra etichiri kuro no. Omo wo emra omo de rani kuro no. But this is what happens. Government can only be responsible. Government can only be fair. Government can only be strong where rule of law works. And it is the duty, the sole duty of the government, of any government in the world, to make sure rule of law works. That is why I always say, citizens can be bad. But if the laws are there, and rule of law are liable, and government officials, those in power, should make sure rule of law works, there will be order. There will be order. Corruption will reduce, bribery will reduce, violence will reduce, war will reduce. Come on. So ababi o wi asibia no se edemra eye adwuma na mra ne ye pepepe enka say this is a minister, so let's be fair as far as the law is concerned. This is a layman who sells on the street, so no, we don't have to be fair to him or her. Any government on practicing rule of law, or making sure say rule of law is a failure, that government is a mediocre. That government is a useless government, because Najuma was as government, you know, onim. As government, if you know what you are supposed to do as government or as people in power, then you also you have to make sure say rule of law works. You have to make sure you fight against injustice equality before the law. So any government and rule of law it's a fraud, it's a failure. Now let's look at this. Now I'm finding it. Free, independent, and responsible media. Oh, I love this part. I love this part. I have just about 2-3 minutes. Free, independent, and what? Responsible media. Independent media refers to any media such as television, newspaper, internet-based publication, blah 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 blah. That is free of influence by government or corporate interests. Research has found out that independent media plays an important role in improving government accountability and reducing corruption. Entity Krobia Emma and Central for Hudieno Sakro Ebre Abambia or Solitian Central for Eyaban Bonnet. Any government that rises against the media is a bad government, because and Central for they are there to educate the masses, and at times they are there to bring out issues of governance to the people, to the known of the people, to let the people know. But at times wicked and useless governments in the world, as I say, if you are a media man and you try to say the bad things on the part of the government, then they rise against you. So you are a poor, you are a wicked, you are a useless government when you rise against media, when you try to suppress the powers of the media. Because when there is corruption, media will talk against it. Where there is no corruption, media will appraise it. Media will clap for it. But you are not be on your aban bi wo wiase a aban bebre bi wo wiase a countries bebre wo ko on ma omo try say omo be can the power of the media ashe, because omo feel say media na kasa ema egu aban ni hufia na egu aban ni ntia na wo feel say the media na kasa na egu aban ni hufia ade ntia na wonya the power as a government. If you want to suppress the power of the media, you can't. Any government that tries to suppress the power of the media is a useless government. It's a fake government. It's a counterfeit government. Any government that praises, that gives power to the media, it's a good government. It's a strong government. If you person wa aban, aban pa. Who person wa mamuo pa. Give that freedom to the media. My media freedom and the power no enya adwuma. Eko boni a media no beka. Eko papa media no beka. So any strong government believes in the power of the media and does not suppress or look down on the power of the media, does not try to use the influence on the media. Last one, Yenfanko. Yensheri. Bad governance is centralized. Bad governance is centralized around the idea of not only corruption within a system, but lack of transparency and accountability, arbitrary policy making, and cheating of those who are governed. Bad governance is centralized around the idea of not only corruption with a system, but lack of transparency and accountability, arbitrary policy making, and cheating of those who are governed. Aban boni ene se abanya ne niema oye no emu ena ho. Abanya osisi ne nkofo. Bad governance is when the government is not transparent. Bad governance is when the government cheats on his people. Eti aban boni abanfu eye abanya ne niema oye no emu na ho omle bi emu ma ne nkofo ntiase. Abanfu aban boni eye abanya o cheating nkofo. And how does the cheating come? Abra ono nko a na edidi na ne nkofo ebre. That is what bad governance is all about. Me say on this show, I will continue to educate, I will continue to teach, I will continue to enlighten people. We are not attacking anybody yet. Chirade. Me dey bia me ka say so for club preach wa sorry them. Na o ka say wa akofo obi yiri bia no, o china wo bewu a, obi ti ono akofo obi yiri na adwen ne say ono na so for ne ka na asem. Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and say mo wo mu nyina no e ko de ma obi. So whatever you say in this world, obo wo nsem a obi besere. The same time I was born in nsem na obi oyare ne ho tete no si ja wo nsem bo. Until at times, regardless of whatever you say, anything be affect you. We are not here to attack anybody. As media people, we are here to educate. We need to put people on their right toes. I don't know any able to me ADSC. From me, Arno Clement, the youth advocate. The truth will always defeat lies. Many men shall die because of the greedy of another man. Many men shall die because of the greedy of another man. The world's natural resources are being wasted because of irresponsible and selfish people who have power. And amai bebre wa abeko ho omo resources ina asay because those in authority, those in power, irresponsible, fake, mediocre, or minimum moduma. They don't know how to manage resources. And at times it's quite funny. Humwa yeshi, baby yeshi, sikana loke, baby bloke. Nenso ye ma ya ba mumu se ye de na ebefa se ye de na ebefa Ghana for mama ya ba mumu ye be koso a kire aka no kore na we know say one day the truth will defeat lies. Many men shall die because of the greedy of another man. Yea, many men shall die. Where we gonna run go? After making our motherland a better place to live, where we gonna run go? Ha! Nipa bebre ewu because of nkofobi nyatwem. Ehe fa ne ebeko. Se baabi a yetie no ya anye ho yi a ehe fa ne ebeko. Obi ye ni biye na opese odwane ko ho no ade na wonya wudie yi. Make your own better rather than running into somebody who is doing his own better. Let's make our own better. Aha na ebe tumi e de asi Richmond and aminu aba edi wa akode anopay medincha sonko ko forma mo ye direct opposite active TV ye chia mo kwan sonko so sanso so and I pay him. So producer, share some messages in the aba na menje na menkan. Both WhatsApp any text ni na. Okay. Okay. Rita kaswa kai mebre. Do na frɛ ama. Wone Susanna, wone Mavis, ene mo amaka nyina. Kaswa kai mebre fo nyina ye cha. Kaswa fo nyina in fact ye domo. Active TV kaswa fo ye domo. Dansuma fo ye domo. Ama samai pokuase ye domo. Tesi ye domo. Islegon Nima ye domo. Kwabenya Nungwa ye domo. So tuom Ashaman ye domo ina Botiano ye domo ina. Makati fo ye domo. Latabio kwose fo ye domo. Tema fo ye domo. Bebia ye domo. Because tembia mo na mo encourage ye. Aboko before ye domo dodo. Tembia mo na mo encourage ye. And you know what? Very soon we will start taking our shows to these places. Sa ne ba be planning. Ye ba be shase. Na ya hihye. Na ye show so they call these areas because we have seen say you people you love us. Winnie Bafo Mudoyen. Asante Akem for Mudoyen. Voter any enough for mo share on Facebook any more mo share on the get na Mudoyen. Afam Place Mudoyen. Kumase Mudoyen. Ufin sawema na ensawem town mienu ensawem na Dobro. Monso mu mienu mo doye dodo yenso ye domo monkoso noye sa. You are always part of the family. Me say problems ni na line at the screen is no wo de ye pon wa na ma frɛ ni na ye ninkita ho de ye betumi aye abo man Ghana na say ye be ka no kra kyerɛ mu na niema e wo se di kan ye ka information e wo se munya no ye de be ma mo kotokufo ye remfi mu ye rentumi mfumu ye domo nso so enti there was a munya ye de be mamo. Keep on supporting it. Na me ti obi aka say de ni nyumate. Ye better production queue ni na ase. Mame abena fabia o de eye trend ne bre nyame hira. Aje ni mboaten so aje yi etena adwam e control dwumade no nyame hira. Mo send them messages ene de mitumi mo bodi e doso. Both Facebook, both WhatsApp, ya hwefo ya dof ye dom. Muna nyame enhyamo as a white and so handle yen course yen camera nyina hwe yen light emaye white nyame enhyao sanso so ena Moses Dawusu wonso ye MC a okeka ne ma bom na wo direct show no wonso so nyame enhyao Peter Honorable Chechebo the great peace activist of Active Johnson and Stephen Monso so nyame enhyamo yesi Peter a marriage counselor onso so nyame enhyira bibiri we ajenim na kan enkame de no sanso ena number 1 Apostle General mebodi ana mama mensa so nyame enhyira onso so nyame enhyira matisi obi si mochi se no afem na oyi no to aso asemo abusamidi the Arnold Clement the youth advocate echina yo Ivan Chimensa innocent ewa ha na me se we adwumaku we ankran bi na wo pese wo be so yasene in any way me say obi ton so 20 pesos kra ma ho no ma waboa because water is life enti eye nipa we dey mama fa ni street nipa onimi nyansa pe ena obi ade ma na wo appreciate obi tun botom say 10 pesos kra na waboa enti irrespective regardless of bia any sponsorship bia or edema Active TV bia no yenjuma bia hoduo nyina no bra na be so ase na yemfa enti na no kore nkoso enedi number na that screen is no sponsorship moa bia kwan bia so yen show so ahoduo nyina pese obebo am ye show no yen show so ahoduo nyina pese obe sponsor at times obi on ma hey so your restaurant so your boutique say we fashion designer say bibi oton fuel say oton battery say bibi a we bia the little amount the little effort the little more bia betumi dia be sponsor yen show bia yen so ye no be kan bom say the die no na project we adwuma no so amana akoso the sponsorship deals nyina opeso obebo obeso yasene we adwuma die bia so a me show don't hesitate for number na at the screen so no manu see ya obetumi afre na ya twetwe enkomo na ya di afa na ya how best ye na obetumi aboa push the positive agenda so that country mother Ghana will develop and I the ABC Apostle General once again nyame inshallah executive producer nyame inshallah na ebusuani na onka obi biara so Pure City International School for nyina Auntie Evelyn ene mo amaka mechiamu nyina nyame inshallah obi biara and the ABC